All right, welcome everybody to the 200th edition of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the article and video that I do for comicbookinvest.com where I talk about those books you can still find in those cheap boxes, those dollar boxes, those discount bins, the yard sales, garage sales, just those cheap books that you can still go digging out based on some recent news, rumors, speculation, first appearances, some stuff going on in the comics, and all that good stuff. Yes, 200 articles, nearly as many videos. I think I started doing the videos maybe around issue article number 60 thereabouts. So it's been a couple of years on the videos as well, but 200. So I thought about doing something like a best of or something like that, but it just didn't really come together. So you said, you know what? I'm just going to do a normal, every run of the mill weekly dollar bin digging episode for you, but we are going to do a giveaway. So before we get into the books, let me tell you about the giveaway. All I'm going to ask you to do is simply in the comments down below on the video, not in the live chat or the live premiere chat, just in the comments down below on the video, just tell me your best dollar bin find. That's it. You give me what your best dollar bin find that you found, whether it be a personal reason, you completed a run, it could be the most valuable book you found in the dollar bins, whatever you want to tell me. Just tell me your favorite dollar bin find in the comments down below. And I'm going to take your name, we're going to put it on a wheel, and next week we're going to find out who the winner is, and I'm going to give away a nice little prize pack for who wins on the wheel. So all you got to do, again, is tell me your favorite dollar bin find down below. And let me show you the books. I just pulled out a couple of books on the side just to put into this little prize pack. It's nothing special, mostly stuff that I have found in the dollar bins, and you still can. So I'm going to give you a Secret Wars #1. This is still like a $25 book, these days. I'm going to throw in a New Mutants Annual #6. This is technically a first appearance of Shatterstar. I believe it's a pinup that predates New Mutants '99, but still, I find this all the time for $1. So it's under 10. It's like probably like $8 online, maybe $10 at best. First Stephanie Brown spoiler. This thing heated up a little while ago, but it's still probably about a $10 book. Throw that in there. Got an Adam Hughes Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan. We'll throw that in there because I do love Hughes. It's one of those things. Again, find them for $1. I can't leave it behind. Amazing Spider-Man 359. This is the first cameo of Carnage. There's another cameo in 360, and then he shows up in 361. But still a book that does a few bucks online too. But again, dollar bin stuff. That's why I'm giving it away for dollar bin. And then I do have this little Walking Dead Days Gone By trade. It's got a little crease on the back here, so it's not in perfect shape, but it's one of those things you find for cheap and you just couldn't let it go. So going to throw it in to the pile for the giveaway as well. So again, all you got to do is tell me your favorite dollar bin find down below, put you on the wheel, and then at the start of next week's episode, I'll run the wheel and tell you guys who the winner is, and then I'll get your address and mail out that prize pack for you. So thank you all again for all your support, and hopefully you're still enjoying the channel, and hopefully you're still enjoying this series, this article, this video. Make sure you're checking out the article over on comicbookinvest.com. I mean, I've been writing there for a few years now. I was doing Usual Suspects before dollar bin digging, but that one kind of I left by the wayside because there's a lot more work, and I've been keeping up dollar bin digging for, again, 200. So this is episode 200. So if you want to see the books I want to talk about this week, with all that pomp and circumstance aside, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, but make sure that you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so I can keep growing this channel. We're getting closer to 2K, where we're going to be doing even more giveaways. And if you're watching this video on comicbookinvest.com but you haven't subbed the channel, come sub the channel. I do a lot of other stuff that isn't tied to the site because I just do a lot of other side stuff too. Like we don't want to make the site all about videos, but I do a lot of videos, from hidden gems to chasing ghosts to the weekly shows on Wednesday and on Sundays. So hopefully you're enjoying the content here on Rennavision. And with all that said, again, hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I'll tell you about this week's books. All right, so yes, I am wearing the t-shirt of the show that I'm on because I do have some t-shirts. If you're interested in the shirts, you can check out the links down below to TeePublic and Teespring and get yourself some t-shirts if you're interested in that kind of thing. That said, this is episode 200. Issue 200, however you want to say it. This is the 200th article, not necessarily the 200th video, but the 200th article of Dollar Bin Digging. So, with that, we are going to go on with this week's news and some announcements, some rumors, things like that. We're going to start off with Marvel. And the first bit I got from Marvel is that there's a new still released of Jamil's Titania, if I'm saying her name right. Titania, which we know is going to be the villain or one of the villains in the She-Hulk series. So we got another still of her here. We'll see how this plays out on screen. Could definitely be interesting. And we've talked about this character before, even here on Dollar Bin Digging. I'm not going to tell you about the first appearance, which was what, Secret Wars 3? Because, yes, if you find that for $1, obviously still buy it. But you want to see a SmackDown throwdown between She-Hulk and Titania. Well, here's another book you might want to keep an eye out for. I like this entire 2014 run of She-Hulk, but issue number 11, you can see here right on the cover, these two going right at it. It goes through about basically the whole issue is the two of them fighting over this blue file that was kind of a, like, I don't want to say MacGuffin, but it kind of ran through this series a little bit. Here, this run's only 12 issues in 2014. This is issue 11, so this is the second to last issue. And you can see this, the two of them just fighting throughout. It's a knockdown. It's a Donnybrook, if you will. A little bit of a brawl. But that's what you get in this issue 11. So it's just one of those ones I still think you can find out there for cheap. So you can still find it for cheap even online. But go check the cheap boxes. Don't go paying shipping prices if you don't have to. Just go check out the dollar boxes, the cheap boxes, and maybe you can find one of these. Because look, even online, it's selling for $3.75, $12.50 for a lot of 4. So it's like 4 issues for $12. It's like cover price or less, is what I'm saying. So you might be able to find this one still in those cheap boxes near you if you go out there and go digging. And again, even online, yes, there's copies asking $4, there's copies asking $12, but realistically, this isn't a big in-demand type book, but this is a book where you can see these two characters going head-to-head, face-to-face. They're going at it, and like I said, it's a pretty decent cover, too, on that. But just our first pick for this week. We're going to move over to DC now with the next one, and we're going to be talking about this the new trailer that dropped for this new animated movie featuring the Super Sons. But Batman and Superman Battle of the Super Sons animated film gets a trailer and release date. So this thing is coming. This is like I think their first all CGI. It's not quite CGI in a Pixar CGI kind of way, but you could tell the difference between like a hand animation and like an all CGI. And this one just has a different little bit of a quality to it, different bit of a look, and looks interesting. Yeah, the two sons going head to head with, well, I shouldn't say head to head, but going up against Starro. And, the general populace now knows who Starro is following the Suicide Squad. So, I don't know. Could be an interesting one. So, with the Super Sons, I know it's going to be a tough call for you to find their first team up kind of appearance together in that Superman number 10. Still love this cover. This is still just a great cover. Granted, there's a B cover on this as well, but everybody wants this one. Maybe you still find it out there. I'm not saying that you will. It is still Rebirth. Rebirth was heavily printed. There's a lot of copies out there, especially for the main titles. And this Batman and Superman one was no exception. Granted, there is a second print as well you can look for. And these things sell all right, so you're not going to find this for cheap. But I figured, you know what, real quick, I might as well just give you some numbers while we're talking about this. So keep an eye out for it anyway, even if the chances are slim that you're going to find this one anymore for cheap in the cheap boxes. You never know. People get overstocked. They get lots of Rebirth stuff because there's a ton of it out there. But this one's still selling. Look, it was much more, but now you can get it for as cheap as $8, $13. But it has been $20 plus for a while. So you can still see it sells for $20 every now and again, but it can sell for as cheap as $8. And the asking prices as well. Right now, it's basically asking that $20 mark because that's where it's been for a couple of years now, this particular book. Granted, maybe it spikes even more for some reason down the line. If we get some, I guess maybe live action would probably be the bigger bump than this animated movie. But DC animation still is quality stuff, and just don't forget about these characters. That's all I'm saying. So while you're out there looking and hoping to find their first, sort of first together, don't forget they did have a series together. 2017, Super Sons started. I think it ran for like 16, somewhere thereabouts. It's over 12. It's in the teens, how long that series ran for. But issue 1 is still one that can decent print run. So there's going to be plenty of them out there. There's an A cover. There's a B cover because that's how DC did their thing. They did the A and the B covers for so long. So you got that Dustin Nguyen on that B cover. It's kind of fun, kind of cool. I think John Boy did the, is that John Boy? Anyway, keep an eye out for these. You can find this entire run basically in this cheap boxes. So just keep an eye out for the first one too. And even when you look at the prices online and what's been selling for, yes, copies can sell for around cover at $4, but look at that. Some copies can sell for $10. That's a CGC 9.6 that sold for $16. It costs more than that to grade the book. So this is very, very cheap right now. You can still find this. And like I said, you can most likely still find this in $1 box. So just grab it, even just for the read. And it's just kind of fun to, get these two together, teaming up. And even online, $5, $8, you can be up to $16. Prices are all over the place. But the point being, there's still a lot of copies. And this is the type of stuff, this rebirth stuff, I've seen it in plenty of cheap boxes, plenty of dollar boxes. It's out there. So go digging for it. And if you're interested, take one or two home. You never know. That said, let's move back over to Marvel with our next pick. We do have Thor. It's released. It's premiered. There's a lot of spoilers already out there. They're talking about the end credit scenes. They're talking about the mid credit scenes. All that stuff's already out there. It's hard to avoid, but I'm not going to spoil any of that for you. Only thing I'm going to tell you is something we did expect and we did hope for is that Sif does appear in the movie. Granted, from what I gather, doesn't have a very big role in the movie. She's in it for all of a minute or so, but she still shows up again. After all this time, we finally gets to see Sif again. And who knows? Hopefully we can get her back into something, because I think I did like Jamie Alexander as in the role, and I wouldn't mind seeing more of her. But that said, she is in the movie. So comic-wise, I think I might have mentioned these before, but if I searched the articles, I couldn't find it tied directly to it. But if not, keep an eye out for the Journey into Mysteries. The end of the Journey into Mystery run was fantastic. Sif basically took over the title to from 646 through 655, and the Jeff DeCall covers are just fantastic. DeCall, I think it's DeCall. But I know everybody's looking at his art these days, and like a lot of his early works are picking up steam. But this run that he did on these covers is fantastic. And just for the cover art alone, let alone grabbing it for Sif, get it for the DeCall cover art. Because look, this is 646 when she took over. You got 47, 48. You get the nice little close up there. It runs, like I said, through the whole run through until 655, 49, 50, 51 there. Look, see how that's like a wolf head with all the characters inside. Fantastic layouts. Just gorgeous cover art. You got that Spidey there in the background with her coming, like the foot's gonna step right on you. It's like the action. It's an interesting angle. You got Beta Ray Bill showing up in this series as well with her. Just a great run. As I said, just for the covers alone, these are worth it if you can find them in the cheap boxes. And I have found them quite a few times before. So keep an eye out for these. And again, there's also that final issue. Even though this doesn't do all that well on its own yet, who knows? Eventually, all these final issues, they usually find their premiums attached to them. And 655 is that last issue. There are some really good variants. Maybe that's why I thought I've talked about these before, because there are some ratio variants for some of these that are pretty hard to find and pretty expensive. But just the regular covers alone are definitely worth grabbing. So if you find them in those cheap boxes, I still suggest you grab them. That said, let's look at what the prices go for these things. You can look 646 to 655. I think that was it might have been a complete lot for $16. $16. It's like 11 issues, right? They're about 10 issues. 50, 10 issues. So 10 issues for $16. Yeah, I count on my fingers just to be sure. And then you can see there's a few other issues down below. $1.74 for a few of these. $1.74, even online. Even online, these are very, very cheap, and I think they're definitely worth picking up. And then you look at some of the asking prices. Yeah, individual issues could be asking like $5 or so. And then there's lots that you can find for as much as like $45. And then there's partial lots you can find for like $16. It's just it runs the gamut as far as pricing goes of what's actually out there. But once again, I'm not talking about buying online. This is really just making you aware of these books. So when you go out there flipping through those cheap boxes, this is the stuff I think you should keep an eye out for. So for cheap dollar, definitely grab these covers. They're fantastic. Moving on, we're going to bounce back over to DC again with the Joker. The Joker series, I believe, wrapped up with issue 15 recently. And inside this issue 15, we find out that a major bad villain faked their own death. I know the article reads for an unexpected reason, but it kind of makes sense when you get into it. Basically, again, in this Joker issue 15, which just came out recently, Not saying you're gonna find this for $1. It's a recent book, $6 bucks the cover. But inside, we find out that Bane is still alive. So last week we were looking at the fake Bane that Mr. Bloom had and speculating who he could be. The real Bane is also not dead, as we thought, and he's come back to basically connect with his clone daughter, his daughter that's a clone, Vengeance, here. So these two meet up at the end of this and go off together. So we'll see more of this duo, this tag team eventually, I suppose. Father-daughter team up, maybe not unlike Rey Mysterio and Dominic. But I don't know. That said, what are we going to look at for this? Like I said, you're not going to find the Joker issue 15 in the cheap boxes, but if you can get lucky, maybe in overstock, recent back issues, that kind of thing, where you discount the more recent issues that are months and months old. Maybe you can find her first. It's going to be tough. I get it. Her finding her first appearance could be a little difficult, but Vengeance did first appear in this series, this Joker series, in issue number 2. And this Joker series started with a very healthy print run. So there are copies out there. It's not like it's a low printed book. There are copies out there. It's just, I know there was already heat on the character from before, because every first appearance when they first come out, it just shoots up right out of the gate, and then it gets forgotten about. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about now the forgotten part of it, where nobody has cared for a while. These books might find their way back into those half cover, discount bins, dollar bins, overstock type of piles. So Joker issue 2 is the first appearance of Vengeance. This is the cover A. There's also a punchline cover, and I think there might be even a C cover as well. And there's a second print, which I'm going to show you here because she appears on the cover of the second print. But I think this was also heavily ordered. There was also a secret variant, I believe, for this issue that went to stores, and an incentive variant as well. But point being, just look for the regular. Look for any version of the regular, any of the regular variants, the regular order, open order, ABC covers, as well as the second print for this character. So that's the stuff you might find in those, like I said, the discount boxes, the recent overstock type stuff. But this cover A, you can see you can sell for $15, while only $1 for that second print, one sold at auction, and even a CGC 998 of that second print. It's only $30. Again, that's what it's gonna cost you to basically grade and ship that book to and from CGC. It's gonna cost you at least $30 when you average it out, unless you're doing like really heavily in bulk. But even then, it's still pretty close to that price. You don't get that much of a discount when you go grading, especially these days. But $30 for a 9.8 is pretty darn cheap. That said, what's online right now? You can see $20 for the cover A, and kind of cover price, a little under cover. You can still get that second print version of it. But as I said, overstock, look for those discount boxes. Maybe you can find this book still in there. First appearance of Vengeance. And with that, we're going to hop back over to Marvel for one more book. Going to keep it short this week. Like I said, I thought about trying to do something special for the whole 200th episode, but I didn't have any really great ideas. And what am I going to tell you about the best books that I found in the dollar boxes? Again, that seemed too much like bragging. So I'm just giving you a regular episode, regular edition based off the recent stuff for this week, including this rumor that the Hood is going to be the villain in Riri's show. Guess they're going for that kind of a magic versus technology sort of matchup. But maybe this will happen. Who knows? Maybe the character will just be introduced and it's a small part. Maybe he'll be the big bad throughout the whole thing. No idea. It's all rumor and speculation at this point. But that rumor and speculation is pointing towards the Hood squaring off as the villain in the Disney Plus series for Riri Williams' Ironheart. So with that, what can you find? Now, just like the many of the other books, the first appearance is probably already gone. This character's been speculated on for a while now. So that Hood #1, that Marvel Max comics version that was shown here, Brian K. Vaughan, this one, you're probably not finding it. You should know it just in case you come across it. Know this cover. This is the first appearance, and I'm going to give you the prices since we're here. Might as well do it. But chances of you finding this one are going to be pretty slim. But I'll tell you about it anyway, just so you're aware of it. So, sold prices on this, it can sell for $15. Look at that. One sold for $15. That's not the norm. Normally, this is more of a $60 to $80 type book, but $15 one sold for, even online with Buy It Now. So keep an eye out for those things. Sometimes cheaper copies come up. I'm not saying this is dollar bin, but that's definitely a good price for this book, 15. And then you can see the whole 5-issue, they say 6, but I believe it's only, oh, it is 6 issues, this first run. Yes, the first run of the Hood was 6 issues. The whole thing for 130 bucks is kind of what you can find recent sales going for. And asking prices, again, on this, like I said, on this book, it's like more like 80, 70 bucks for the issues 1 through 3, and then issues 1 through 5, $100. So you got a lot of incomplete sets out there, a lot of makeshift, piles and lots. But generally, this issue on its own is like 80 bucks, thereabouts, 60 to 80 in a lot of cases. So if you find it, good job. But chances are you're not going to find it. But the one you will find, and I always find it, and I always think it's this one, but it's not this one, is the second miniseries that features the Hood. While the Hood's shown up in like New Avengers and Illuminati and a few other titles as a character, he's only basically had a couple of minis. And that first mini is the expensive one. And then the second one, the Dark Reign one, I always find these. And these are still cheap. So you know what? Who knows? Maybe these things will become sought after if this character really pops. Because, like I said, there's not a lot of books that feature the Hood in that way. Like, he's not headlining that many things. So another mini is something to be aware of and something to pay attention to. And Dark Reign, maybe we get some sort of connections with some of the directions in the MCU going forward. We don't know yet. We're going to find a little bit more at San Diego because Marvel's back in Hall H. Kevin Feige said he's going to be releasing more info on where we can expect to go in the future phases of Marvel. So let's see where we're going. Dark Reign, though, this miniseries, 5 issues. Let's see what we can find for the Hood. This, like I said, it's still pretty cheap. Even online, the entire mini, $14 for issues 1 through 5. $9 for issues 1 through 5. You can find them mostly in lots because people aren't picking up individual issues of this particular miniseries. If you can find them, try to build out a set for yourself. Like I said, you can probably easily find and complete this set for $5. You find all 5 for $1 and get yourself a set for $5. Even online, look, there you can, even if you want to, you can just buy one for $9 straight up, or $10 for an individual number 1, or if you want to buy number 1 for $3. Again, price is kind of all over the place. The bottom line is, even online, these ones are still cheap, and this is something you can find out there in those discount boxes for sure. And who knows? Who knows? Take a shot, take a gamble, tuck it away in a box. It's the same thing of like, you never know if these things are ever going to pan out in a lot of cases. You know how many times I've bought that Brother Voodoo miniseries just thinking, well, maybe they'll introduce him in Doctor Strange. Maybe they'll introduce him in Doctor Strange. I know we got the first Drum Brother showing up, but we haven't seen them follow up on that. Anyway, in the movies. That said, there's a lot of stuff like that. Sometimes you just go buy it, you tuck it away in a box, you wait and see. And really, what did you spend? You spent $1, maybe less, depending on what kind of discount boxes you got your way. And with that all said, hopefully you're still enjoying this series. I mean, again, been doing it 200 now. 200 weeks of writing dollar bin digging articles and filming videos to accompany most of them. It's been a long run, but hopefully you're still enjoying it. Hopefully you're still checking out the things on the channel because I'm still having a hell of a lot of fun doing all this stuff. And like I said, I got that giveaway. I'll give away that prize pack to one of you viewers who just, all you got to tell me is your favorite dollar bin pickup. So that's all you got to do down in the comments below. Again, thank you all. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the support. And hopefully you're still, like I said, looking forward to the content that's coming out almost daily here on the channel. And with that, make sure you enter the giveaway, and I will announce the winner on next week's episode. All right, and I'll see you guys later. S tier. Do.